The Baffling Story of Sarah Boone.
So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay. So
Grown ass.
the problem is I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
When did you do CPR?
This morning, when I found it.
Before you called?
Yes!
It's 1 o'clock right now.
God damn.
I tried. I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at like 12:30ish, whatever. So I came downstairs, and I was like, oh, he's in the suitcase still. And that's when I found him, and I took him out, and I tried doing CPR, and then I called him, and then I called you guys.
Sarah Boone described herself as a straight-A student, an outstanding mother, and someone who excelled at everything.
So you're telling me you played hide and go seek
So,
and your baby
when it
crawled in
came
a
to murder,
suitcase?
you could count on her to do it well. While her long-term partner called her name and fought for air from inside the confines of a zipped suitcase.
Oh, it was
Sarah
her
laughed
nigga.
and taunted him as
She
filmed
killed her
his final
nigga.
moments on her phone. Then
In a
she
suitcase.
went to bed.
Wow, is that the
Why
real
did she do
vid?
it? If her motive wasn't greed or jealousy or fear, what had driven this woman to torture and murder a man she claimed to have loved?
How did this
Let's
grown ass
dive
man
into the
fit in that
baffling
suitcase?
case
God
of Sarah
damn.
Boone.
What's going on? Who is he to you?
She got that shit
Yes,
door
for like
got.
3.5 years.
hell?
What happened?
He and I, we drank last night. We had a
Can you pass this to the around to the FBI? Stop. They for sure.
They're with me. So
Oh, they're not leaving?
I
Okay.
think I woke her up.
No.
But the audio keep fucking up. It gets loud and quiet.
Then have to put their name
normally
in
we
there.
all just.
I'm trying to keep it tame.
Yeah, you call her working.
What's going on? I just got here, so fill me in.
No problem. Like,
Yeah, I'll
he and I
just go
were
for it.
putting a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together.
You are putting a puzzle together?
Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there.
Okay.
We've been doing art, trying to take the stuff off the wall.
She thought this was gonna
Art
hold
kind
up.
of, like having a good time with one another. But we're drinking. We had a bottle of wine last night.
Okay.
So then it's like we decided to play hide and seek, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, grown ass man playing hide and go seek with you, right?
okay,
Who is this guy?
that's my ex, my former husband.
How did he live here with you guys?
No, I called him over here.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So then he came over here.
Here, let's talk in private, okay?
I called you guys. I tried giving him CPR.
And the officer fine as hell.
I fell asleep. I fell asleep
When did you do CPR?
this morning when I found it.
Before you called?
Yes!
It's 1 o'clock right now.
I tried. I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at like 12:30ish, whatever. So
So you're telling me he zipped himself up in the bag? How is that even possible?
came downstairs.
What are you talking
And
about?
I was like, oh, he's in the suitcase.
Oh my god, he's in the suit. How'd you know he's in the suitcase? I thought you were playing hide and go seek.
No. And that's when I found him, and I took him out, and I tried doing CPR, and then I called him, and then I called you guys.
Did he get here before the fire department got
Is he role playing as a dildo or something? Like what the
Where you
fuck?
were at?
Why is he in a suitcase?
So you were
That isn't. Your
planning
story's
to
retarded already.
get him up in
I did, but then I fell asleep.
Okay. Stop. You're okay. I wasn't here. I'm just trying to figure out what
I
happened.
fell asleep, so I don't know if he suffocated or like had an aneurysm or a heart attack or
What
what.
kind of medical conditions does he have?
None that I know of.
Nothing that you know of.
None
You
that I
didn't
know
take any
of.
medicine
No,
last night?
no.
No medicine.
All we had was a bottle of wine. Literally, just a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Doing puzzle artwork. Then we decided to play hide and seek. That's all that happened.
Okay.
So I don't know if he had a heart attack or what in there. Like, I don't know what happened.
So how long were you doing CPR on him prior to you calling 911? You tried that all morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I called him while I was
What
doing
time
CPR.
did you start? Probably give me a rough ballpark. Here, let me fill this deputy in, okay?
Please may I have my Dr. Pepper? I am
Hold on,
so
one
cut
second,
mouth
one
right
second.
now.
Do me a favor. Stand over there by that car. Give me 1 second.
Your story don't make no fucking sense.
Just give us a second, okay? We gotta-
Somebody else on there call a break and
It's on the counter.
I can't move anything from out of the house.
For 20
I'm
Bravo,
so
but
thirsty. Like, I'm
Here, I want you to sit down because I don't want you passing out. This is probably a lot for you to deal
I
with,
need
right?
water.
I don't
Water. Just water.
Why is she
I can
tweaking
use
like?
this
Oh
now,
my
okay?
god,
I
her
want you down on
eyes.
your feet. I don't want you passing out on me.
Generator call.
I need, please, I need water.
Okay, I'll get some for you.
He's trying to Charlie, but yawning.
Before we start, we would like to send our heartfelt sympathies to the loved ones of Jorge Torres Jr., who fell victim to the abominable
R.I.P.
acts described in this case.
Jesus. They might have actually been playing or something. Because how would he... How big is the suitcase? One. Like, how does this even happen? This is crazy.
Early in 2020, just a month before the world would find itself in the grips of the COVID-19 pandemic, 42-year-old Sarah Boone and her partner of 4 years, Jorge Torres Jr., also 42, were working hard to get their lives back on track. The couple lived together in an apartment on France Lane in the city of Winter Park, Florida, one of the state's wealthiest and a city known for its stately trees, parks, and big homes.
See, this audio keeps
Sarah
going low.
shared custody of her 9-year-old son Lucas with her ex-husband Brian. Jorge, a native of Philadelphia and also a divorced father of 3, worked at a local Ace Hardware. But Jorge was a man who had a troubled past. Over the course of his nearly 4-year relationship with Sarah, he had been arrested multiple times for intimate partner violence and violation of no-contact orders. In 2019, he'd been arrested 3 times alone. His arrests had led to a court-ordered batterer intervention program and substance abuse classes. Jorge had followed his classes diligently, and by February of 2020, things seemed to be looking up, especially from the perspective of his long-term partner, Sarah. Jorge, Sarah felt, was finally learning to control his demons, most of which stemmed from stress and booze. Sarah sympathized immensely, but couldn't relate. She wasn't plagued by the same troubles, and could juggle many things at once with relative ease. She wasn't dependent on alcohol to cope, and she had dedicated herself to helping Jorge improve himself. She would succeed. She was, after all, someone who managed everything she did well. On the afternoon of Sunday, February 23rd, the couple celebrated the start of a new positive era with a bottle of Chardonnay in the garden. By early evening, they had headed into the apartment where Sarah suggested they listen to music and finish a puzzle, something to distract Jorge from drinking. It was turning out to be a great day, a day that Sarah would certainly never forget.
911, what is the location of your emergency? 4748 France Court, apartment 3.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
What?
Okay, send a line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
Look how calm she
Tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a case and we were playing. And like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep.
It's not hide and seek,
and I
bitch,
woke
if
up
you
and
put him in a
he was
suitcase.
dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Like he had
That's
like
a terrible
blood
death,
coming out of his
bro.
mouth, and I don't know like he had like an aneurysm. I don't know what happened.
Right, okay, all right, okay. Listen, we're getting help on there, too.
It's like people who get stuck in
hanging
caves,
from
like
somewhere
the
or what,
worst
man?
deaths.
No, I pulled him out of
Enclosed
his suitcase.
space.
I tried giving him CPR.
Okay, so he was in a suitcase?
Yes, and I fell asleep.
I put him in a suitcase.
How
We were
old
playing
was
hide
he,
and
ma'am?
seek.
42-year-old man. All right. Is he awake at all? Is he conscious at all?
No, he's purple.
Is he breathing?
No.
All right. I need you to get him on the floor, flat on his back for me, okay?
I did. I tried giving him CPR.
All right. Are you right by him now?
I'm sorry?
Are you right by him now?
Yes.
Okay. Lay him flat on his... Okay, ma'am.
No
ma'am,
type
listen,
of panic,
So
bro.
is he cold and stiff?
Yes.
Emotion or nothing.
Okay.
Well, he's not necessarily cold, but he's stiff. And he's
Right, okay.
purple.
All right, listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to lay him flat on his back for me on the floor.
I did.
Removing the pillows. Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right, okay.
He's stiff and purple.
Right, okay, listen. Okay, man, that's fine. We're still going to do compressions on him, okay? All right? Place the heel of your hand on his breastbone, right in the center of the chest, right between the nipples.
Yes.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Baby, I'm telling you. Just by looking at him, you can tell.
Okay.
Please! Okay, he just gurgled.
Okay. Listen to me. All right, I want
Bro,
you to place the heel
even
of
if
your
he told
hand.
the instructions, she's not gonna do
Right
him.
between his chest, right
She's
between
just
his breastbone.
no, he's just dead, bro.
Put your
He's
other-
dead.
put your other
We're
hand
not gonna
on top of
try.
that hand.
He's
We want-
gargling right
we
now.
want to
He
pump
could have
his
lived.
destiny hard and fast. Going to
This
do
is
it twice per
weird, bro.
second.
This is insane. She watched him
I'm doing it again.
suffocate in that suitcase.
Okay, no,
Recorded
just
it
keep on
too.
pumping. That's all you need to do for me. Keep on pumping his chest for me. I don't need you to stop and talk or anything.
Oh.
I just want you to count out loud for me, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They probably wasn't even doing it.
For someone who's just discovered their live-in partner
I
has
just found my
died a horrific
husband
death
dead or boyfriend
overnight,
dead.
Sarah is eerily
It's normal.
matter-of-fact. She sounds more like someone dealing with the inconvenience of a flat tire
You're like, I
than
got
the
a
devastation
dead body
of
here.
a
Come
deceased
pick it
loved
up.
one. Her
What the fuck?
irritation increases the longer the dispatch operator keeps her on the line. By the end
He's
of
like,
the
"Stop
call,
trying to tell me
she's
to save
repeated
this
no
nigga,
less
shut
than
up."
7 times the fact that Jorge is purple and stiff. In other words, there's no need for wasting energy on
Hey,
chest
why am I wasting
compressions.
energy trying to
The
help this
guy's
nigga live?
long dead already. And indeed, when paramedics arrived at the apartment on
dead.
France Lane, they found Jorge Torres lying on his back beside a large Navy
Them fucking
suitcase near the
nasty
front
ass
door of
feet
the
on my
apartment,
face.
quite clearly deceased. A disheveled-looking
I'll suck
Sarah
them
is
toes, I'm not
captured
gonna
on
lie.
the body cam of a patrol officer soon after paramedics
I don't fuck
announced
with the red
Jorge's
tail
death.
toenails.
She is
I
in a
like pink,
high state
yellow,
of
white,
agitation.
shit like that.
She needs a cigarette and a
I'm
Dr.
one of
Pepper.
them.
I had a cigarette, but
I'll get it for you, okay? Wait 1 second, okay?
I really need something to drink.
Okay,
I got my Dr. Pepper on the counter.
okay, we'll take care of you. Give me 1 second.
She worried
During
about her
her
getting her
subsequent
Dr.
field
Pepper.
interrogation, Sarah recounts the details
hitting
of
a
Jorge's
cig.
horrific
She
death
trying to get her
during a game of
camels out the
hide and
house.
seek gone wrong. She
Fucking
seems
idiot.
unaware of the unusual choice of a game for 2 adults, and that helping one's only opponent to hide defeats the purpose of the game altogether. Sarah
Yeah,
has
like if you're
other
helping him to
priorities.
hide, how is it hide and seek? Because you hit him, you know where he is. How does that make sense?
Namely, hydration.
That doesn't make sense.
She
my nigga.
repeatedly begs the officer for a Dr. Pepper or water, finally repeatedly guzzling water from a neighbor's hose before detectives from the Orange County Sheriff's Department arrive to interview her.
Normally I just put everybody.
Yeah, you call her working.
What's going on? I just got here, so fill me in.
No problem. Like,
Yeah,
he and I
sorry,
were putting a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together.
You are putting a puzzle together?
Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper is sick. You know she nasty. Oh God, she like an English teacher.
But we're drinking. We had a bottle
She
of wine
think
last
that's
night.
funny.
So then
Use
it's
my
like,
3-year-old.
we decided to play
God,
that game,
nigga.
right? So
What are you talking about? Go to bed.
Sarah tells the detectives that
fucking
she and
bed,
Jorge
Carrie.
had been drinking Chardonnay and
You are
doing
not supposed to
puzzles
be
and
here.
painting before they decided to play a game of hide and seek.
Go to fucking bed,
She had
Carrie.
hidden in the upstairs shower, but when Jorge failed to come and find her, she returned
Go to bed,
downstairs.
nigga.
Jorge then suggested that it would be funny if he got into a large suitcase Sarah had pulled out for charity clothing. Both
Bro,
laughing,
you don't
she
even
zipped
see the
him
half
in,
of this.
then let him squirm for a while.
With them
She'd
squirm.
gone upstairs around 12:30 a.m.
Went to
and
bed.
had accidentally fallen asleep,
Yeah, I forgot.
completely
him in there.
forgetting that Jorge was still
I left
in
the
the
man in there
suitcase.
screaming in the suitcase.
When she'd
I
awoken
forgot.
around 11:30 a.m., after a marathon 11-hour sleep, she figured Jorge was already up and downstairs at his computer. An
How?
hour later, after realizing the silence was dragging on a bit long, she had come downstairs, only then remembering with horror the suitcase. Inside, she found Jorge,
I
stiff,
miss you,
purple,
Daddy. It's been a
and
couple
bleeding from
days.
the
Let
mouth.
me squirm. I'm not your
Sarah
fucking
then
dad.
had immediately called her ex-husband,
You
who
live in an
lived a block
orphanage.
away.
I'm not your dad, bro.
After arriving at the house and
not
glimpsing
your
the
father.
deceased Jorge, Brian had told her she had to call 911.
Why is there a picture
Sarah
of it?
wondered
What the
out
hell?
loud to detectives if the cause of Jorge's death had been maybe an aneurysm or a stroke or
Bro,
perhaps a
squirm
heart
your
attack
ass to
even.
bed.
When asked by
Squirm your ass to
detectives if they
bed.
drank often, Sarah replied that she only ever had a couple of glasses of wine with dinner. She then asked about Jorge's family. Had police informed them
Why
yet?
her face
What
so
exactly
fat, but
would
her
they say?
body's
But how, I mean, I understand what you guys and how you do it.
like that.
you
And
know,
her titties are at her
but,
abdomen.
like, what are you just telling him?
What
are
is
you telling him
happening?
next? Like,
What
what's
build is
passing
this?
away?
We tell them what we know at that point. We tell them the truth.
Her titty at her belly button and shit.
For the autopsy results, and I will get the autopsy in the morning, and hopefully the doctor will be able to give me some.
Look like Marty McFly and shit.
Give them their number. They can contact them, get it from them.
Yeah,
they're gonna know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that they're gonna think I killed him.
What? That's what you worried about?
Always have said that. I told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because
What are you talking about?
with me. So he's basically just not really been around his family because he chooses me over them.
Yeah, you worried about getting arrested.
But along with getting a
fuck
Dr.
this
Pepper,
shit.
this was soon to become the
like
least
shit.
important of Sarah's problems.
Bro, I don't know
Before
what this
leaving
bitch
that
talking
day,
about.
Sarah
If your boyfriend is dead, the last thing you worried about is if they're gonna think you killed him, if you killed him. Why are you talking about this?
would give police both verbal and
She
written
ain't saying
permission to
nothing.
search her phone.
She said, I'm the blue-eyed dragon. What? The blue-eyed
Inadvertently
dragon.
handing them the evidence that would be used to charge her
Is she
with
a
the
Yu-Gi-Oh
murder of
card?
Jorge Torres. On Sarah's phone, police found 2 videos taken the night before Jorge's death. One captured Jorge rocking inside the suitcase, pleading with a laughing and taunting Sarah that he could not breathe. Sarah responded with, "Yeah, that's what you do when you choke me." When he repeated it, she said, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me, and F you."
Sarah.
Wow, this
For
is
everything
fuck.
you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Wow.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Stupid.
She's laughing
Sarah.
and recording this shit.
That's my name. Don't wear it
Can
up.
you be my dark-skinned dragon? No. Listen here, Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Scary Carrie. Stop. None of your fantasies are getting fulfilled in here. Dragging your nuts across my face. That's not how the joke works. It's dragging my nuts across your face. You're weird. You're a weird nigga. He did the joke wrong. That's how gay this nigga is.
That's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah. Sarah.
How did he get in the suitcase? That's how I'm wondering. Like, she didn't just put this grown man in the suitcase. Did he get in her himself as they're playing?
That's on you.
That's on you.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Real or ransom. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Real or ransom.
Sarah.
Yeah, that was playing around or something. Like, how did he get in the suitcase?
That's what I feel like when
Now
you
I
cheat
know
on
if a
me.
bitch trying to put me in the suitcase, I'm not going.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
You should probably shut the fuck up.
Sarah.
In a second video, taken 11 minutes after the first, the suitcase was a few feet further from the door and in a different position. He called her name once more before she stopped recording. Jorge's autopsy results would conclude that he had died due to positional asphyxiation and that the manner of death was homicide. His body had significant evidence of trauma to multiple sites, a black eye, as well as bruises
She must have
and cuts
kicked the
around the head,
bag, bro.
his back, and hands.
She was
and
stomping the
abrasions
bag
from
up.
blunt impacts around the body. Medical
Oh my
examiners
God.
estimated that Torres had been in the suitcase for up to 11 hours. On February 25th, Sarah was taken into custody by detectives. She
Sarah.
arrived at the precinct with an armful of papers
Sound
and
like a
informed
fucking
detectives
blob.
that she had some
Sound like
questions
Jabba
she
the
needed
Hutt.
to go through with them.
All that shit in her
Sarah Boone
fucking
was a
throat.
woman who needed to be in charge and in the
Until
know.
she's smoking a cig
During
in
her
the bed.
police interrogation, she turns and peppers police with her own queries, a transparent attempt to equal the playing field. She also felt it important to let police know who she was and that they weren't dealing with just anyone here.
I'm the
But
Blue
police,
Dragon.
meanwhile, had enough information
You're
on
not
Sarah
dealing
to
with
know
anyone.
the
I'm the
fact
Blue
was
Dragon.
fiction, and
Bitch,
would let
shut
her
up.
talk enough to lock herself into her lies. Sarah Boone, it would turn out, was a figment of her own imagination, and perhaps a former self.
I don't think you all understand who I am.
Don't care.
I mean, I've always been a straight A student. I am an outstanding mother to my son. I excel at everything. Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone. I helped him. I took care of him.
Sound good.
I miss him a lot, and I didn't even sleep
Ah.
last night.
I mean, is there any chance it got to be too much for you and you couldn't handle taking care of him and
I never stopped.
trying to...
I never stopped. That's what I'm here for. I never stopped. I'm here now because I'm still trying to help him.
He's dead.
We're
What are you talking
informed
about?
of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So he's got scratch marks to his back.
Oh, she was outside this suitcase.
And so he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip.
I haven't laid a
swollen.
hand on him.
Okay.
Also, too, he fell off my son's bike,
Okay.
so I don't know. And he's notorious for running into the wall or the hall tree. So
Okay. Okay. What about the scratches? Because there's also sex.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's also like a scratch on like the back of his neck, like kind of like going, but it's like going straight across.
Jesus.
I have no idea what that's from.
We just don't. I mean,
I'm gonna go to
it's
sleep in 20.
unexplainable
Alright.
how he got these
What time is
injuries
it?
and
Damn, it's been 3
I have
hours.
no idea.
you were.
I
the only
need
one
help,
with him.
Law.
100%.
I can't
right
help you,
hand
bro.
to
What
God.
are you
I
talking
have
about?
no idea how he got them.
When
What's up,
Sarah
bro?
said she had no idea
What's
where
up?
his injuries other than the scratches had come from, she may have been telling the truth. A neighbor of Sarah's told police that he had heard a loud noise from the apartment that night, like something falling down the stairs perhaps.
The
Perhaps
suitcase?
Sarah had persuaded Jorge
him
to
down the
get in the
stairs?
suitcase upstairs, only to push him down once he was inside it. She had also flipped the suitcase over. If she hadn't remembered filming the video, she wouldn't have remembered kicking or assaulting him in it either. Sarah was quick to describe herself as a victim of domestic violence, but failed to
need help
mention
taking
that
care of
she
my
too had been
boner.
charged with battery by strangulation
Can't
after
help
a
with
drunken
that.
fight
The
with
fuck is
Jorge.
wrong?
She
Fuck
blamed
is wrong
Jorge's
with-
violence on his drinking, and then claimed
Bro,
that she
it
didn't
is
drink
too
herself.
early in the morning.
Sarah vehemently maintained that she wasn't drunk on the evening of Jorge's death, and that she hated being drunk.
You told me on recording like that you were not drunk. He was not drunk. You guys were having a good time.
I can't get drunk. Number one,
I can't get
I
drunk?
do not want to get drunk.
You can't get drunk now.
I don't like being non-complimentous, having my wits about
What?
myself. I don't like feeling out of control.
Non-competences? Is that a
So-
real word?
I'm just saying you're making it sound like he's a raging alcoholic today, and yesterday I was kind of
Yeah,
asking you
yesterday you
those
talking about
questions, and
drinking
you're like
wine.
a little defensive. Like, no, we're not alcoholics.
I'm not.
We are not. You know, were you guys drinking and it got out of hand and
No.
it got physical?
Bitch, you
No.
was talking
or-
about drinking wine with
Her ex-husband Brian, however, had a slightly different take on Sarah's drinking, something he'd shared with the patrol officer on the day of Jorge's death.
Generally not very good about always doing it.
They called back and said she was still there.
Similarly, neighbors at Sarah's apartment complex told police that Sarah was drunk on a daily basis. She was a belligerent drunk who would scream at them and start fights, they said, and regularly played
She
loud
sounded
music through the
sloppy in that
night.
suitcase video.
Detectives then presented Sarah with the videos found on her phone.
Do I have to watch this? I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
Bitch, watch the
You
video.
can either explain it or we take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on.
I didn't think that he was
He was what?
Like-
What?
panicky. Like,
So pushing up on a suitcase
What the
saying
fuck
Sarah,
are you talking
Sarah,
about? I can't
Sarah.
breathe, Sarah.
I can't
breathe. Like, what the
George's
fuck?
done that in the past before, too.
He's
where
done that in the
it's just
past
like
when he got in the
thinks
suitcase
that
before
he's
he threw him downstairs.
woe is
Okay.
me kind of thing.
You're the only one saying derogatory
Oh, fuck.
comments. Like you're mad.
No.
You know what's on that video now?
No.
You remember making that video?
No.
Why don't you remember making the video?
Because you're drunk as
Probably
shit.
because we had been drinking.
But you weren't drunk.
I thought you don't drink and you're not drunk. You don't get drunk.
Because I went upstairs and just
You
because
told
you're
us.
drunk doesn't.
Confronted with the damning
Fucking
evidence,
idiot.
Sarah resorted to using every tactic available for avoiding accountability.
Why she gonna say, "He
Denial,
beat me"?
amnesia, victim playing,
Beat the shit out of me.
counterattacks, gaslighting, and the list went on and on.
Because I don't remember that.
Okay. Doesn't mean it didn't happen just because you don't remember it. I have one last question. You realize you're the person that killed him, right?
I thought about that.
Okay, you left him in the bag when he's begging you, saying, I can't breathe, let me out. And you said,
Bitch.
"Fuck you."
Daddy,
You
you're
got up
back.
off the
I
couch
can't
and went
see
upstairs
because
and
of
left him in that
ads.
Not intentionally.
When did you get an ad, bro?
Yeah.
Stop calling me your fucking dad. How forward?
Never
Fuck
do
you.
that to George.
Fuck you.
Good.
Not
No.
intentionally. Alcohol is a shitty thing.
What happened
It's
is
alcohol. You all,
Please sit down.
listen to me.
she's
You
gaslighting.
all, listen. I did not intentionally kill him.
One
I didn't
very
intentionally kill him.
odd
He couldn't breathe,
coincidence.
and I'm talking
While
shit to him
police
in the
were
cave.
investigating, they found that
Nice.
Sarah had previously been investigated by police and CPS for zipping someone up in a suitcase. In 2017, CPS
this bitch
received a
does this?
complaint after
Her
Sarah
kids too?
posted a picture on her Facebook page
Oh
of
my
a child
God.
being zipped into a suitcase. The investigation was dropped when it was confirmed the child
wasn't
wanted
her?
to get into the suitcase for a picture. But the coincidence is eerie. Had the child asked to be photographed in the suitcase, or had Sarah suggested it? Had the incident planted a seed in her mind?
She's
But
like, "Oh, I'm gonna
of
do this
what?
with Jorge."
Sarah was combative
Or
and
Jorge.
demanding right up until she was led out the door in handcuffs.
So why is this
Where it is?
happening? So this was a trick.
No, it's not
No,
a trick.
not
How
a
was it a
trick.
trick? Your response to everything was basically, I didn't do it.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, you did it.
Breaking at 11, a woman arrested accused of zipping a man in a suitcase, leading to his death.
Why is she dancing?
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Sarah Boone?
42-year-old Sarah Boone faced a judge
Mr.
Wednesday morning
Inner
charged with second-degree
interrogation.
murder.
Do you not
Detectives
care
say
about
she
me?
left her boyfriend,
I don't.
42-year-old Jorge
Stop,
Torres
bro.
Jr.
Stop.
in a suitcase in their Winter Park
The
apartment.
interrogation went like, "Hey, we have video that you fucking was talking shit while he's saying I can't breathe in a suitcase." That's what happened. And she lied terribly. That's what happened.
Based
And
on the
denied it. I didn't do it intentionally. And she lied. It didn't make sense. That's
the
what.
autopsy
Stop calling me your
findings
fucking daddy. I'm not your daddy.
evidence of
Unless you're a
trauma to multiple
bitch.
sites
Then I'll be your
of the
daddy. If you're a man, I'm not your fucking daddy.
State asked for no bond. The judge agreed.
Sarah Boone was charged with the second-degree murder of Jorge
Second
Torres
degree?
Jr.
That's first.
According to Law.com's legal dictionary,
That's
second-degree
first.
murder is, quote, a non-premeditated
No,
killing
that's
resulting
first.
from an assault in which
She
death
was trying
of the
to kill
victim
this
was
nigga,
a
bro.
distinct possibility. Exact definitions on what constitutes second-degree murder vary from state to state in the U.S. Sarah is currently being held at the Orange County Jail
not a
in
girl.
Florida, awaiting her pretrial
Wear a
hearing, which is
miniskirt
set
and he'll
for
let you
July
call him
14th
daddy.
of this year.
Not him.
Now, allow us some speculation.
Not him. We're talking
During
about
her upcoming
the
trial,
femboys, the bad
Sarah's
femboys
defense
or some
team
shit.
may
Not this
claim
nigga.
that Sarah was a
This is a
battered
grown
woman
man.
who'd grown
This is a
homicidal
36-year-old.
as a
Cool. What the hell?
reaction to her partner's abuse.
The fuck?
Maybe that is the case.
That me or
She
me?
had good reason to hate Jorge and vice versa. But a crime of
Use my
passion
little
needn't
girl
involve
body,
torture or
pin
sadistic
me
pleasure.
against the wall and hold my mouth so I don't scream.
That is a whole
What
different
is wrong
level
with
of
this
crazy.
dude? This is a
Here
grown man.
is our hypothesis.
I am a
Sarah Boone was a
14-year-old. This is a
perfectionist
grown
and a control
male,
freak.
adult
She
male.
believed herself a little superior to your average person.
Yeah, she's always saying, "Do you know who I am? I get straight A's.
And had also
I
developed
can do
a
anything I
drinking
want."
problem.
What the fuck?
In
you talking
Jorge
about?
Torres, she'd met her match, or more accurately, her undoing. a man with a violent side who would not be controlled. After a
you're not controlling
4-year-long
Jorge. He gonna beat
escalating
your
power
ass.
struggle, Sarah's resentment had built to a breaking point.
He needs
When she
mental,
finally
yes.
got one over on him, her pleasure at seeing him
Sick.
powerless, in pain, and completely at her mercy was so intoxicating, she would not quit until he'd taken his last breath.
You. Sarah. Stupid. Sarah.
You fuck slugs.
That's
what
my
are you
name.
talking
The word
about?
up.
No,
Sarah,
I
I
fuck
can't believe it.
dudes. What?
That's on you.
What is wrong with
Sarah,
you
I can't believe
niggas?
It's on you.
R.I.P. Ergay. He wasn't.
If you found this story compelling, don't forget
Perfect.
to like the video,
But he ain't deserve to
comment
get
down
caught in
below
a
your
suitcase
take on
like
it,
that.
and subscribe
It's
to the
fucked
channel.
up.
Also, hit that notification bell in
I
order
fuck
to stay
humans
up
and
to date
sometimes
each time we
catfish
reveal
and
a
hamsters,
new,
but
shocking
you fuck
case.
slugs.
If you have a case you would like to see given more coverage, drop us a line in the comments. And
What?
thank you for your support.
He
We
just
are
said he
grateful
fucks
for every
hamsters?
one of our subscribers. So, until next time, stay safe and keep your eyes
safe.
peeled.
Keep
You
your eyes peeled.
never know what's
never know.
lurking in the shadows.
That scared me. I gotta take a shit now. Great video. Actually, a slug might feel good. Slithering all. Okay. I thought you were a woman. Okay, now he's a man again. Yep. That's just how the cookie crumble. Stomach grumble.